What up, my people, and welcome back to 10 on 10, showcasing high school student athletes. I'm your host, Chad Ricardo. This week we got interviews. We're going to pick the biggest games, but let us not forget we're here to count down the 10 top plays of the week. With that said, let's get on 10. Number 10, Blake taking on Churchill. Sharp shot by Hailey Daniel. Jeremiah Seaton, safety's got him squared up, then whoop! Hit him with the L1 and nobody's catching that young man from there. 41-0 Blake. To the district we go for number 9. This is Ballou clinging to a one-score lead late. McKinley Tech got plans for an upset, but Lorenzo Martin says, I'm taking your plans and I'm taking them with me to the crib. Pick 6 to seal the dub. Number 8 is girls volleyball, submitted by the one and only Sports Mom DMV. Georgetown Day visiting Murray, Marianne Inyafe. 2 sports star with the denial at the net. Number 7, that sharp shot by John Quick. Silky smooth Savon Briggs drops it into number 5, staying alive as he slides inbounds and sticks the landing. Cougars, number 1 this week? We'll see. Playing one sport at a high level, well, that's hard enough. Participating in multiples while excelling in the classroom, that is downright outstanding. I had an opportunity to speak with a young lady who's doing all of the above. I'm talking about basketball, I'm talking about volleyball, I'm talking about the Murray School's London Lily. We're out there playing volleyball now. Is that something that has been a passion of yours?
I'd say it's definitely something I'm doing to stay in shape, although I am still doing basketball workouts and strength and conditioning on top of it. But I knew that when I was first coming into high school, I knew that I wanted to play another sport for the fun of it. And I know that at Murray they require you to play 2 sports. So I decided that I was going to play volleyball. So it's really kind of just a mental break, a good refresh before the season starts, and I still have fun doing it. So Marianne plays volleyball too, so it's fun. It's fun, yeah.
That's what's up. Shout out Marianne and Yafe, one of my favorite student athletes. You spoke about basketball, obviously. You talked about the off season. What has your off season been like?
My off season has consisted of a lot of strength and conditioning workouts, like I said, and also going to open gyms. I've been to a couple open gyms in the past couple months, and I've also been going to a lot of college camps. I've been to a heavy, I say at least 4 or 5 college camps.
Wow.
Yeah, so it's mostly that and talking to coaches. A lot of it consists of talking to college coaches, and I've also been going to my trainer Barry, and there was times where I was in the gym for 5 hours straight, 6 hours straight, just working out with him, because my mom works right next to the gym, so she'll just drop me off, stay there until she finishes work, leave me there, and then I'll just work out, and then she'll come and pick me up.
You are a member of the first class of the Sports Mom Foundation Dream Team. That's what I'm going to call. We'll coin that. We'll tell Stacey Stewart we'll call you all the first Dream Team class here. I know that this is really cool that Stacey and the remainder of the board members want to do a lot to open up opportunities for student athlete. What has Sports Mom Foundation, that process, what's it been like for you?
It's been a really great opportunity. Sports Mom has really helped me throughout my whole process, whether, especially with Markeisha Grant, she's really helped me with my whole recruiting process. I know my first call that I had, she had those list of questions, and I used the whole thing. Those are the only when I was just reading off of the list when I was talking to my college coaches. So it's just been really helpful throughout them trying to build student athletes and get them where they need to be for college. So I know that's something that has really helped me with, as well as building a relationship with older players and more people that are more experienced with the game. So yeah.
No, I love it. And beyond everything else, an outstanding networking opportunity. As you continue to get old like me one day, that networking, we'll see that that's what is really golden. Okay, I'll get you out of here on this one. Like we talked about, volleyball season, that's the fall sport coming up in the winter. It will be back on the hardwood for the Murray Frogs. You all have so much quality talent coming back to the team this year. New head coach as Coach Liddell transitions into the athletic director position. Shout out Coach Liddell for that. What
Yeah.
should we anticipate from you on the court this year, and what should we anticipate from the Frogs?
I think from me, you should anticipate like me to just play my game, to be honest, because I know last year we had 4 seniors and it was just like that whole little senior freshman thing. And I know now that I'm gonna have a bigger role on the team for sure, and we're gonna have to be like a well-oiled machine because we only have like 6 players. So I want you to expect like every game to be like a dogfight, but we're gonna compete. I know for sure that we're gonna compete, and it doesn't matter who we're playing, whether it's like Potomac, who just came in, or whether it's Sidwell, we're still gonna try our hardest and compete. So definitely expect that.
That is what's up. London Lily, one of my all-time favorite student athletes already. 2 sports star now. Thank you very much for dropping by the
Thank
show.
you.
Truly an outstanding student athlete. We'll be interviewing at least one young lady every week because you all deserve to be showcased as well. More top plays coming at you next. This is 10 on 10. What does one do after leading his squad to a convincing early season victory over a back-to-back state champion? We'll ask head coach of the Freedom Woodbridge Eagles, Daryl Overton, in just a moment. But before that, let's get back on 10 with play number 6. Number 6. This one's sharp shot by Jack Burke. St. Paul's Desmond Delicio. Off-platform delivery and Krazan Tarver with the excellent adjustment. Play number 5 takes us to Oakdale Walkersville. Sharp shot by Shad Woodyard. And oh Lord, that young man just got hit by a bus. Aiden Blake lowering the boom. More from this game later. Top play number 4, to Montgomery County we go. Sharp shot by Marshall Strickland. Anthony Dixon Jr. delivers the dime and Kamari El Amin does the rest. Weaving through traffic like a soccer mom during rush hour. The Rockets scored 49 points in this game. What in the Spencer Silverstein is going on here? I got love for my Richard Montgomery Rockets. If it wasn't for them, I might not be here with you right now. More on that later. If you're creative and you want to join the squad, be sure to hit up Bailey Sport at sharpshot_media. That's on Instagram. Student athletes, parents, please feel free to hit up my DMs. Look, we love football, but we need volleyball. I need more soccer in my life, boys and girls. Send those highlights over to me. Now, in terms of American football, there was a statement made last week. It wasn't just that Freedom Woodbridge knocked off Stonebridge, it was the way that they beat Stonebridge. It was the manner in which they beat Stonebridge up. That victory signified that the Freedom Eagles could be taking flight to the top of the VA6A. So, look, man, now, look, you're head coach, head football coach, so I know the answers that you're about to give me. You're going to tell me that it's on to the next one. You're going to tell me that last week was just a game, one of 10, 11 that you got. It's a step along the process. But if not for you personally, you all had a huge victory over Stonebridge last weekend. What did that victory mean to your student athletes? What did it mean to your community?
Well, I think for the most part, like you said, you're always going to give the coach an answer. But the bottom line is 2 good teams, 2 well-coached teams played. So anytime you get wins like that, they always mean a little more. You know what I mean? So I'm not going to downplay it. But to the players, I think it just speaks volumes on how, it reiterates all the things you've been trying to get them to buy into. So I think that's where it goes a long way when you beat a good football team and the players see, okay, so everything that coach has been asking us to do has worked in our favor versus this great team and program. So it kind of makes them a little bit more receptive to the message along the way. And like you said too, Prince William, Woodbridge community, our fan base, it was awesome because, again, 2 good programs, 2, they're back-to-back state champs, and it's kind of like, trying to get a seat at the table. But also, like you said, the coach in me is, ain't no congratulations till November. Then, you know what I mean. But it still means a lot because it's two good teams playing. And anytime you get that, it's a bonus. Especially you come out on the winning side.
You all have been knocking on the door, just kind of piggybacking off of what you're saying. You all have been knocking on the door for so long. You've had these talented teams. With a victory like this, especially early in the season, does this kind of cement to your young men, hey, look, like, we got a chance to be special this year if we continue to follow coaching and do what we need to do week in and week out?
100%. You know what I mean? You hit it on the head. Like you said, it does. And we've talked about, as a program, like, that's the next step for us, is going from good to great and getting a seat at the table with Highland Springs, Stonebridge, Oscar Smith, South County, teams that won state championships, in the last 5 years or so. Like, we're tired of doing everything else. We've played and scored a bunch of points and been in the state championship. We've done all that. So, it was, like you said, in that regard, it was big, and it does hold a little weight into the fact that, like you said, we want to get a seat at the table, with the guys that have won it, and we want a spot.
3-0 thus far this year. Look, I just want to run through these scores because it's not just victories. You all are dominating. 62-3, 74-0, and then again 36-13 against the defending state champion in Stonebridge. What are the strengths? I know that there's many. What are the strengths of this year's team?
Well, great way is we returned a lot of guys at the skill position. We were really young. So you're talking about Jeff Overton, who was a freshman last year. Now he's a sophomore, year older, year bigger. Juju Preston, both those guys were all region as freshmen, is a slot punt returner. Cameron Courtney was all state. So now those guys were sophomores, they're juniors. Elijah Reed was a sophomore. So I think at the skill spot, we've gotten bigger, faster, stronger. But the place that I feel like, and I even had coaches have commented to me and messaged me after seeing our film, that our offensive line has been very physical and very dominant. And to be honest with you, that was the thing that I was most impressed with versus Stonebridge team, is that we were able to push them around up front. You don't think that that's going to happen when you play it. But our offensive line, they go by Trench Mob and they're coached by, Coach Davis. They have been special. And they were their best in our biggest game to date. So I think that's a big deal. Defensively, again, we play Stonebridge. You've seen them, to hold them to 65 yards rushing.
Wow.
Is, speaks volumes on the whole group. And it shows our discipline. And we were a little bit nervous. We replaced all 4 linebackers. So we returned the entire secondary. We returned the entire D-line. And we added TJ Bush, who's a Coastal Carolina commit. We have Bannister, who has 12 offers. But our linebacker core was all new starters: Devin Reeves, Braxton Hunt, Juju Harris, Isaiah Harper, and Aaron Duncan. So to see those guys step up to the challenge versus a good team early is big. And like you said, the rest of it, the scores, Riverbend still ain't no pushover. You know what I mean? They 2-1. You know what I mean? They've beaten both teams they played outside of us by 40-plus points. I just think it speaks to us in the level that we've been locked in so far. But like you said, it's only 3 games. So with high school kids, trying to maintain it is the most tricky thing.
Well, look, I'm going to take that and I'm going to really make you jump over the bridge because, look, 3 games in, long season, Then you got the playoffs, you got everything else to get to, but I got to imagine, right, that as someone who's been doing this as long as you have, that a special team when you see one. You know a team that has the potential of making some big things happen. So does this team have, because I know you all had the athletes, right? You've got the athletic talent out there. Now you got them playing in the trenches down there. Of course, you got that monster that resides in Virginia Beach. Them Tigers, Oscar Smith. I'm from the 757, coach. Don't tell nobody, but I'm from the 757. So on paper, do you believe that this team, long way to go, does this year's team have what it takes to potentially match up and potentially knock off a team such as an Oscar Smith?
Well, to be 100% honest, like I feel like our program is at the level where we expect to be in the state championship or the Final Four teams every year.
That's what's up.
I don't think that's being arrogant or cocky. That's just where our program is. So we're always thinking about playoffs. But, I also don't overlook because we still, and to the victor goes the spoils. We got to get past Battlefield, who won our region, before we can think about those teams. So in your regards to what you asked, yes, we do have the potential to do that. But it got to pay dividends. Like I said, I had a coach tell me before, trying out for NFL team, your potential going to get me fired. You know what I mean? So we definitely got the potential, to do that. But, between me and you, like I'm not overlooking the person that won our region, which was Battlefield. So to me, that's the top dog right now. And we the little dog next to Spike, making all the noise, trying to, get them. So we got to get to that point. And the teams in our area, they're gonna play us like it's their Super Bowl. So we can't have no slip ups. But you're right. As a program, we expect to be there at the end of the year. We do.
That's what's up. Look, I as always, whenever I see someone who has what it takes to go down and knock off that team from 757, I like to ask about it. So I get you out of here on this because, like we say, it's week to week to week. This week you've got Unity Reed. This squad again coming into this game 2-0. Keys to victory against Unity Reed.
Well, again, I like our schedule. You get a Stonebridge who's going to force you to play fundamental, sound, disciplined football. And then you get a team like Unity Reed who has athletes everywhere, and they kind of force you to rely on your technique because you're not just going to be able to line up and out-athlete them. Make sense? So I like the challenge. I like the challenge they propose in that regards. Also, like you said, physicality. I feel like, their linebacker, Amari Campbell and Shane Eller, they're two of the most physical guys. I think an unsung hero on their team is number 3. I forget his name, is safety. Those 3 guys are really physical. So I like the matchup, because now, Stonebridge was in one, but now here's Unity Reed with athletes all over the field, and you kind of got to, tame that beast as well.
That's what's up. That's what's up. And that is the key to coaching, is being able to play with all of the different styles that you might have to see later on.
Yes, sir. 100% sure.
That's what's up. Coach Daryl Overton, head coach of the Freedom Eagles, 3-0 top 10 team on a mission. Coach, thank you so very much for stopping by and speaking with me today.
Man, appreciate you having me always.
Major shout out to my man Coach O for pulling up. I'll have my own prediction for them versus Unity Reed. That's coming up, as well as more pick'em games. And we're going to give you the top 3 plays. That's next. This is 10 on 10. 10 on 10. I'm your host, Chad Ricardo. All right, this is the moment we've all been waiting for. It's time to get to our top 3 plays of the week. And I guarantee you, this week, they're special. Let's get on 10. Number 3, sharp shot by Shad Woodyard. Walkersville getting on the board. Gavin Hughes throws up a prayer that nobody believed in. God did. Leo McDonald with the amazing contested grab. He done gone and made his whole family proud. Number 2, Rose traveling to Gonzaga. Montez Minor in at quarterback. Great snatch by Josh Harris Golf. You can't stop JHG. You can only hope to contain him. Been covering these young men since they were in the sandbox. Love to see it. And our top play of the week, shot by Taito Akimoto. Tyshawn Helm puts it up, and I'm sorry to say this, sir, but you got mossed. Jamar Gator Ebron on the grab. One of 2 touchdowns on the day for the ODU commit. Bro, absolutely outstanding plays this week. I tell you what, you want to join our creatives team? Be sure to hit up Bailey Spoor at sharpshot_media on Instagram. All of the student athletes, the parents, the coaches, you can also send those plays directly to me at Real Chad Ricardo. Okay, time to get to one of my favorite segments of the show. It's time to pick the top games of the week. I'm going to give you my idea of who I believe is going to win, but again, this is all in fun, all to showcase the student athletes, because trust me, at the end of the day, I want for all of our kids to win. That said, we are going to begin with that Thursday night tilt. This is 3-0 Freedom taking on 2-0 Unity Reed. Now, this Unity Reed squad, bro, they've got dudes. If you heard the interview with Coach Overton, they've got athletes all over the field. Speaking specifically of Amari Campbell, that young man is a stud, the UNC commit. They've also got Shane Eller. This dude can just play football. He's an animal no matter where he is on the field. I've had an opportunity to watch those young men since they came up with Jawan Banks. Shout out, Coach. With the VA squad playing in the GYFL, I believe in those young men. I believe in this team. I just don't believe in them in this game versus Freedom. Have you seen what this squad is doing to teams, bro? I mean, they are on an absolute tear. I am rolling with the Eagles to fly high again this week, and to be honest with you, I might be flying with them for the rest of the season. Our next game, Mount St. Joe's coming down to take on Good Counsel. Now, through the years, Mount St. Joe's has played the Falcons very, very tough. They've given Good Counsel games, but I got to tell you, this week, Good Counsel is coming off of a loss, and this is my team, my pick to make it to the WCAC championship game. This Good Counsel team has offense all over the field. I'm telling you that Dylan Jones is on a Heisman, a high school Heisman tear right now. He's going to have a big day. Frankie Weaver's going to have a big day. Kamari Randall's going to have a big day. And Good Counsel runs MSJ out of Olney. In PG County, we got Flowers playing host to Eleanor Roosevelt. Now, Roosevelt, they thumped Bladensburg last week, but in case you ain't know, Flowers has not allowed a point all season. My prediction is that Flowers not only wins this game, but they get another shutout. They're passing out donuts like they're Krispy Kreme. Flowers wins this game again. And over to Montgomery County, number 1 Quince Orchard, they're playing host to Walter Johnson. Now, you may not believe this, but trust me, Walter Johnson might just... Okay, all right. But what if Walter Johnson is a... All right, no, you got a point there. Okay, but in case of an emergency, Walter Johnson might be... All right, you got me. I got Quince Orchard. In our last game of Pick'ems, this is Gonzaga playing host to Archbishop Spalding. Now, these two teams played last season. It was at the point in time of the season in which the Gonzaga Eagles were flying high. I picked Gonzaga. Not only did Archbishop Spalding win the game, but after the game, they went on social media and they let me know about it. Those young men were so disrespectful, letting me know how they had taken down my Gonzaga pick, and they wanted to make sure that the world knew that they did it to show me that they were going to do it on that field at home. Well, I got bad news for you, Cavaliers. This year, the game is at Gonzaga. Aiden Conrath and crew are going to put on a clinic. That offense is going to score points. That defense is going to apply pressure. And my main man, Markeith Hogan, is going to make a play to seal the deal for Gonzaga late. The Gonzaga Eagles win this game. They fly high on I Street. And I tell you what, you can tell my main man, Josh, Mr. Triple Threat himself, to be sure that he gets the clips and that he takes receipts. Gonzaga wins this game, and that's going to do it for me. 10 on 10. Get at me on social media. Fly high, Eagles.
Ricardo report, bruh.